In the heart of the Indonesian archipelago, nature breathes with a raw and ancient power. Thousands of islands form a world where life thrives in endless variety. In the rainforests of Sumatra, orangutans swing gracefully among the treetops, while tigers move silently through the shadows. Beneath the crystal waters of Raja Ampat, manta rays and vibrant fish glide in a mesmerizing dance of light and motion. Farther east, the Komodo dragons rule the sun-scorched lands, living relics of a forgotten age. Above them, eagles soar high, guardians of the eternal balance between predator and prey. Indonesia stands as a living sanctuary of biodiversity, a realm where every creature, great or small, keeps the heartbeat of the planet alive. Here, nature doesn't just exist, it breathes, feels, and tells its own timeless story. Among the sun-drenched islands of Indonesia, where red earth cracks under the heat and the sea breeze brushes through golden grass, a silent giant moves across the land. The Komodo dragon, a reptile capable of bringing down almost any living creature with a single bite, commands respect with its very presence. It can grow over 3 meters long and weigh close to 100 kilograms. Its skin, covered in scales as tough as armor, and its powerful muscular tail are enough to knock down even a full-grown water buffalo. Yet, it is not brute strength that makes this predator so formidable. It's what lies within its jaws. Dozens of curved, razor-sharp teeth deliver a toxic bite that prevents the blood of its prey from clotting, while bacteria in its saliva turn any wound into a deadly infection. One bite is often enough to seal the fate of its victim. And in this harsh kingdom, even other Komodo dragons are not beyond danger. When the mating season arrives, power and dominance take center stage. Under the scorching sun, 2 colossal males approach each other, stirring clouds of dust with every step. Their eyes lock in tense silence. A confrontation is inevitable. Eventually, one yields his strength spent, His reign ended beneath the weight of defeat. In the realm of the Komodo dragon, such brutal duels end only when the strongest male earns the right to mate. The act of mating is a raw display of power and primal instinct. The male presses his full weight upon the female, leaving deep scratches on her skin. Yet behind this fierce ritual lies the beginning of a fragile new life, the renewal of the species. After mating, the female quietly digs a deep nest beneath a dry tree, laying dozens of eggs protected beneath the warm earth. Months later, the hardened soil begins to tremble. Slowly, the eggs crack open, revealing hatchlings barely 30 centimeters long, fragile, trembling, and disoriented by the light of their first dawn. They emerge alone, with no protection and no guidance. Danger surrounds them from the very start. Even their own kind of dragons can become their greatest threat. Instinct drives the young to flee, climbing desperately to the safety of the trees. Hidden beneath the forest canopy, the juveniles spend years in concealment, feeding on insects and small creatures while learning the art of survival. Only when their bodies grow strong and their claws harden like steel do they dare to descend to the ground once more. On Komodo Island, every life begins with flight to survive means to escape. If the clashes between males are fierce, witnessing a Komodo dragon hunt, a water buffalo is an entirely different spectacle, raw and haunting. A massive buffalo trudges through the swampy mud, unaware that death watches from the shadows. The great reptile creeps forward, tongue flicking to taste the scent of blood and sweat carried by the wind. The buffalo fights desperately, but its strength fades quickly. It staggers away, the venom working silently through its veins. Hours later, the giant collapses. Death comes quietly, small in form, yet merciless in power. Among the coastal mangroves, another remarkable creature adds its own charm to the landscape, the proboscis monkey. With its long nose, pink face, and round belly, this unique primate is found only on the island of Borneo. Adult males can weigh up to 25 kilograms, while females are smaller and more delicate in build. Their coats shimmer in shades of gold, brown, and gray, blending perfectly with the forest canopy, though their distinctive noses make them unmistakable. Unlike many primates, proboscis monkeys are equally at home in the trees and the water. With webbed fingers and powerful limbs, they are excellent swimmers, able to dive beneath the surface to evade predators or cross rivers with ease. Most of their lives unfold high among the mangrove branches, where tender leaves, fruits, and shoots form the core of their diet. Unlike the solitary reptiles that share their habitat, these monkeys live in tightly bonded groups, one dominant male, several females, and their young forming close-knit families. As dusk settles, dozens of these family units gather together in the treetops, creating large colonies that rest under the forest's quiet protection. Their social connection becomes a shield for the youngest members. During the breeding season, males compete fiercely to defend their place as leaders. After a 6-month pregnancy, the female gives birth to a single infant, nurturing it with care and keeping it close for the first 2 years of its life. Through playful leaps and gentle embraces, the young learn their earliest lessons of survival. From high above, the mothers watch attentively, their eyes scanning the forest below. Suddenly, the stillness breaks. The leaves rustle, and from the shadows, 2 cobras rise, their hoods flared, eyes glinting under the sun's reflection. They coil and sway in a deadly dance, a silent contest of precision and instinct. Moments later, one strikes with perfect timing. The other collapses, and stillness returns once more. In the forest's humid silence, the timeless drama of life and death plays out, unseen yet ever present. Curiosity trembles at one end of the branch, while danger lurks at the other. And so, in Indonesia's wild stage, nature draws back its curtain, once again preparing for another act where survival writes the story, and every heartbeat counts. In the wild expanse of Indonesia, nature becomes a grand stage, its curtain rising for another act, one painted in tension and survival. As the mangroves return to stillness after recent turmoil, a new predator prepares to enter the scene. Without sound or warning, the saltwater crocodile, the true monarch of Indonesia's rivers, slips beneath the murky surface. This ancient reptile can exceed 6 meters in length and weigh over a ton. Its back is armored with scales as tough as steel, and its bite, the most powerful in the animal kingdom, can crush bone with ease. Yet its true weapon is not brute strength, but endless patience. The saltwater crocodile hunts with absolute precision. In a sudden burst of motion, a mass of living muscle explodes from the water, dragging its prey into the depths in a heartbeat. For this silent hunter, anything that ventures too close to the shore can become a target. Wild buffalo, boars, or even the monkeys that linger above the river's edge. As dusk falls, the river glows with copper tones of sunset. A troop of proboscis monkeys gathers near the bank. Among them, a mother decides to cross the water in search of food on the other side. Her infant clinging tightly to her back, eyes wide with fear. The surface shimmers quietly, too quietly, while beneath it, two golden eyes track their every move. The crocodile's massive body glides forward without a ripple. The current bends toward the unsuspecting mother. Then chaos erupts. In the untamed wilderness of Indonesia, a mother's instinct becomes the only force brave enough to challenge death itself. Indonesia's nature may be unforgiving, yet it is also a cradle of courage and connection. From the fierce protectiveness of the proboscis monkeys to the deadly clashes between Komodo dragons and venomous serpents, every creature here tells a story of endurance. And within this storm of life and death, one truth endures no matter how fragile. Life always finds a way to survive and continue. Across the endless plains of Kaziranga National Park, the pulse of wildlife beats with unstoppable power. As the golden light of dawn spreads across the mist-covered grasslands, elephants, rhinos, and deer move silently through the haze, their silhouettes gliding between light and shadow. In the distance, the deep roar of a tiger echoes, signaling the beginning of a new hunt. Here, every sunrise marks the start of another chapter in nature's timeless story, a perpetual dance between predator and prey, written in instinct, strength, and survival. In this sanctuary of breathtaking biodiversity, every encounter reminds us of the fragile balance that sustains life on Earth, a harmony both fierce and beautiful, where existence itself is the beneath the dense canopy, where sunlight barely pierces the shadows. Another battle unfolds in silence, fiercer, bolder, and hidden from most eyes. It is a duel between deadly venom and unyielding endurance, a confrontation capable of shifting the delicate balance of the food chain. Amid the thick grass and tangled shrubs moves a creature with no wings or claws, yet armed with courage enough to face the forest's most venomous predators without hesitation. A small shadow darts through the undergrowth, the Indian grey mongoose. It is not large. Its slender frame barely reaches the length of a human arm. Its ash-grey fur glints with a metallic sheen whenever light filters through the leaves. With every silent step, its long tail glides just above the ground, part balance, part sensor reading every vibration in the world around it. Its round, dark eyes glow like tiny embers, always alert, always aware. The mongoose is the embodiment of boldness. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment like the eagle, nor stalk in silence like the leopard. It confronts danger head-on. Its diet ranges from bird eggs and field mice to small lizards. But today, the wind carries a different challenge: the cobra. The serpent lies coiled beneath a tree, every black scale tightening at the slightest sound. It does not retreat, it doesn't need to. Over 2 meters long, its broad hood spreads wide like a warrior's shield. Within its fangs rests a potent venom, capable of bringing down much larger creatures. The cobra is an adversary that most animals wisely avoid. Its dark, unblinking eyes fix on its target. Its forked tongue flickers rhythmically, sensing each breath, each motion, as if taking the pulse of its rival. Its coiled body is wound tight, ready to strike like a living spring. The cobra relies on precision and the certainty of its own lethal defense. But the mongoose is no prey, it is a challenger. Both animals face each other. The cobra, hood raised and hissing in defiance. The mongoose, low to the ground, arched and poised, tail swaying side to side, waiting for the single perfect moment. The forest holds its breath. No sound remains, only the whisper of grass and the locked gaze of two fierce survivors. Then, in a heartbeat, the mongoose leaps, one swift motion, a strike, a bite. The cobra twists violently, then falls still. The mongoose, remarkably resistant to the cobra's venom, endures even if bitten. It is a duel of speed, instinct, and raw will a clash of small but formidable forces. Kaziranga falls silent once again, not a silence of peace, but the echo of a wild encounter, where survival depends not on strength or venom, but on courage and intelligence. The mongoose stands tall among the grass, motionless, as if returning from a dance between life and death, a nameless warrior guardian of her own destiny. Kaziranga, a land where life and death breathe in unison. Each dawn, a soft mist drifts across the plains, veiling the trails of hunters and the quiet fears of their prey. This is no wasteland, but the beating heart of nature in northeastern India. In the shadows of the forest, a Bengal tiger waits with patient stillness, biding its time for the perfect moment. Above, riding the morning wind, a crested eagle surveys the world below, the undisputed ruler of the skies. The crested eagle is a hunter of precision and patience, striking only when the time is right. Its dark brown feathers blend seamlessly with the forest canopy, turning it into part of the wilderness itself. Tiny white spots shimmer across its back, glinting like fleeting stars in the early light. Around its eyes, a ring of bright yellow burns under the soft sunlight, a warning to any who might challenge its reign. But its most defining feature is the elegant crest, sweeping backward like a crown. It gives the bird a look of quiet authority, a creature that exists on the fine edge between life and death, unshaken, fearless. Its gaze, sharp and deliberate, is not merely to see, but to read every breath, every tremor in the grass below. It does not need to soar high to hunt. Instead, it waits motionless upon an ancient branch, still as a spirit of the forest, attuned to every subtle movement on the forest floor. Known as the serpent eagle, it embodies wisdom, calm, and flawless precision. In a realm where every mistake can cost survival, this raptor has mastered the art of stillness. It had sensed the snake long before it appeared, from the first faint quiver of grass, like the earth exhaling in warning. A viper, common on humid mornings, glided silently toward the base of the tree, where dawn's light had yet to dry the dew. Graceful and wary, it moved without haste. Above, the eagle remained perfectly still, its talons gripping the rough bark like anchors of steel. The wind stirred, the leaves whispered, yet the eagle did not move. It seemed the world could change around her, and still she would not falter. Below, the snake advanced with deliberate grace, each motion exact, each pause measured. Every time it stopped, the eagle narrowed its eyes, calculating distance, heartbeat, and timing. No hesitation, no wasted movement. Then, in a single heartbeat, she struck. Her talons closed with unyielding force around the serpent, whose struggle faded in the tall grass. Her shadow cut across the plains like a flash of silence, a reminder of nature's timeless balance, where each act of predation sustains life itself. And as the calm returned to Kaziranga, the wild resumed its rhythm unbroken, eternal. With the first warm winds of summer, the forest's scent deepens, and the instinct for survival gives way to another song, gentler, more profound. It is no longer the call of the hunt, but the call of life itself, the melody of courtship echoing through the tallest trees of Kaziranga. On a dry branch, reaching toward the open sky, a male eagle spreads his wings and lifts his crest high. He doesn't shout his dominance. Instead, he releases a low, resonant hum, a sound that drifts like a royal summons carried on the wind. High among the treetops, where no predator dares to reach, two eagles meet. There is no violence here, only precision and balance, the same grace that defines their existence. The crested eagle may not be the only ruler of the heavens, but it remains one of the most magnificent symbols of power and serenity ever to grace the skies. Across the jungles, swamps, and coastal plains of Indonesia, nature reveals its wildest face. Here, life is a constant challenge, a delicate dance between strength and vulnerability. We have witnessed encounters that seem born from another world, the precise strike of the saltwater crocodile, the silent ambush of serpents, and the fierce duels between Komodo dragons. Battles fought not only for territory, but for the very right to survive. Each confrontation tells its own story, carrying its own meaning. Yet, among them all, the clash of the Komodo dragons stands apart, not merely for its raw intensity, but because it embodies the essence of the untamed world power, strategy, sacrifice, and an unyielding will to live. In moments like these, we understand that nature acts not out of cruelty, but out of balance. Every life and every death are part of a timeless cycle, a rhythm that keeps the earth alive. Still, behind every roar and every chase, tenderness also breathes in the watchful gaze of a mother, in the calm that returns after a storm, in the quiet pause between one struggle and the next. Such is the nature of life itself, harsh, unpredictable, yet endlessly wise and profoundly beautiful. And we, humans, remain humble witnesses to this miracle we call existence. If you're inspired by these stories and wish to keep exploring the hidden wonders of the animal kingdom, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming documentaries. Join us on this journey through the wildest corners of our planet, where every creature fights its own battle to survive. Because to understand nature is to understand ourselves, and in every struggle, life always finds a way to continue.